A man tried to kidnap my neighbor's kids. This is what it taught me about business.
No.
Dude.
Wait, a man tried to kidnap my neighbor's kids. He's just inserting himself. He's not a part of this.
Dude, kidnapping?
He's not even a part of it.
No, dude, kidnapping in business. Like I cannot wait to hear the jump that's made to how he bridges the gap here.
Most of your success is out of your control. I learned this from a predator in my neighborhood. This experience taught me something important about business and career success.
Buy a gun.
Make sure you tell your kids
traps.
Tell your kids about predators.
Home Aloneify your neighborhood.
Dude.
Is booby traps?
Yeah, everywhere.
What's up? Welcome back to Dark Mode, the business comedy podcast where we get comedians and entrepreneurs together and we talk about business, entrepreneurship, work, money, tech, all that kind of stuff. Today I have two very special guests starting at the other end of the table. Mr. Nik Sharma, the legend of ecom is what they call you. Nik, the legend of ecom Sharma.
Is that what they call me? I should update that now.
Yeah, you should put that in your LinkedIn and your Twitter. And
excited to be here.
And Nate Meeker, right? Meeker, is that?
You got it.
Yeah, nice. It was an easy white guy name. I knew how to say it.
Yeah. Honestly, you could have called me anything and I would have just gone with it.
You'd been like, yeah, that's me. Yeah.
Yep.
Jim, Jeff, whatever.
People would have bought it.
Yeah. Very funny comedian on the come up. How did you get into comedy? Curious.
Honestly,
you seem like a well-adjusted person whose parents love them. So I'm just curious how you get into something like, I need to make people laugh. You know,
where's the trauma?
Unfortunately, my parents do love me very much. So it doesn't come from them. I promise you. And well, I don't know. I was like, we were talking about actually earlier, I used to work at Salesforce and I started really like right during the pandemic. Like that is when I started working there. So it was a lot of work from home. I unexpectedly had to move back home to Ohio for like 8 months and live with my parents again. Because they weren't allowing people to move for work. And I just got like very bored and just like started uploading TikToks and stuff. And like one thing led to another. And I was just kind of like, you know what, this is like way more fun than my customer success manager job.
Yeah.
Which is so fake, by the way. I don't know if you guys know, that's a made up role.
Just basically like you're an account coordinator.
It's like, it's basically
it's customer service.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, you know, the CEO's son was, underqualified, so they had to make up a role for him is kind of what.
And that's the role that you got with your college education.
Essentially, yes.
Yeah. Did you go to Ohio State?
I did, yeah.
Like a good Ohio boy?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So are you allowed to say the company, or you not want to say the company?
Oh, it doesn't matter to me. It's more so
well-known tech company, publicly traded, correct?
Well-known, yes, publicly traded, well-known tech company.
Yeah, cool.
We'll see. I don't know.
The
Maybe
internet's gonna find out.
Yeah, no, they'll find your LinkedIn.
I've made plenty of jokes. I used to work at Salesforce. I used to make I made plenty of jokes about them.
Yeah. We have customer success managers at Triple, and I think they're great. But I get what you're saying. It's like it seems like how do you say this? It's like the server job of the tech industry.
Yeah, I mean, it's like technically they try to pitch it as like consulting because you are kind of like helping with implementation and like.
That's true. Yeah, you need to know the product really well.
Yeah, so when I say fake, it's just like I just mean like it sounds fake, and there's no like tangible, like you can't really measure your success.
I think it's the manager word.
Yeah.
Customer success manager. Like
is a little...
putting manager in that title.
Well, that's what they do now. They just throw words in job titles to make them sound more important.
That's definitely what we do in tech.
You know, data scientist was one of those?
Yeah.
Data scientist.
Yeah, scientist is an insane thing to call someone who isn't a scientist, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, that's unbelievable.
Yeah. You know, mine is head of professional services. Do you know what that means, even?
I have no idea.
No, nobody knows. We just make stuff up.
Well, I think that's what it is. It's the more vague you are, the less important your role is.
Right.
So like president.
If your role is CEO.
Right, you know.
It's clear.
It's clear.
Yeah.
But, you know, the business development, brand strategist, evangelations, I don't know, like whatever these
evangelation coordinator.
Yeah, whatever.
I've only actually ever seen like a chief evangelist from Salesforce, I think.
Oh,
It's
really?
That guy that just
we used to have one.
Viral tweets.
Yeah, we used to have one at Triple. You know him.
Rabba.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like he didn't have viral tweets.
No.
This guy just launches viral tweets every day. Like
That's his
that's
job?
all his
Just-
yeah,
just
and
put
it's
out
not even
viral
related
tweets?
to Salesforce. It's like these are the 10 stocks that if you bought 10 years ago, here's what it would be worth today. But like then you click his profile and it's all Salesforce.
Yeah. Well, apparently, I remember them.
Does that
saying-
bring in? Was that good? Is that good lead gen pipeline for them? Like, do you know?
Well, I don't
You have
know.
any insight into this?
All I know is-
I'm fascinated.
I remember when I worked there, they said that Mark Benioff, the CEO and founder, was obsessed with Twitter for some reason or whatever.
Well, everybody was in his era of tech people.
Right.
Yeah. So like there was a big, they didn't want to do anything with TikTok. They probably
No.
are. I think they are now, but they didn't want to do anything with TikTok
Yep.
or Instagram, whatever. They really wanted to push Twitter.
Yeah, the Elonification of Twitter has really driven people to other places
Absolutely.
in the tech space.
Yes,
Yeah.
you know, I'm gonna have to look this guy up now. Now I'm curious.
Yeah, I bet
Yeah.
if you just Google like
Evangelist.
Salesforce chief evangelist.
Yeah, no, I'm very
You'll find
curious
who this
now.
guy is. I want to say his name is John, but I'm totally wrong. His tweets were so viral that and so unrelated to Salesforce, I can't even remember his name.
Vala,
I mean-
is it Vala?
Yeah, I think so.
Vala Offsfar?
Yeah, he's got a shit ton of followers.
Offshar? I mean, the first thing that came up is his LinkedIn, which is an excellent segue. It's like you set me up.
Yeah, just
Because today we're
perfectly
talking
teed
about
that up.
cringy LinkedIn posts. Should we see if he has any?
Yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
he's got to have a ton.
What is
But you know what's crazy though is
Yeah.
like all these platforms just reward stuff that just like stats about stocks you could buy 10 years ago
Yeah.
is so broad. And it's so broad in terms of what would do well for engagement.
Right.
But that's what the platforms reward.
But yeah, and it's like not useful for anybody.
It's completely useless. Like, what are you going to do with that information? You're just going to be sad.
I'll know.
Yeah,
if
you're
I
going to be
if
like,
I-
Mom, what were you doing
What the hell,
buying
Mom?
groceries for us? You should have been buying Apple stock.
Yeah. Heard of Netflix? Yeah.
Right, yeah. What are you doing watching Netflix, Mom?
Yeah,
all
you
these
should've been
years.
buying it.
Yeah.
Buying it up
Should have been
sharing
buying
time.
Netflix, exactly.
Yeah, dude. I feel like I would be, there's like a joke about this, but like I feel like I'd be a horrible time traveler. I wouldn't know what, like if you sent me back to like even like the 40s, I'd be like, I don't know what to invest in. They'd be like, who's the next president? I'd be like, that's a good question. Somebody smarter than me would know that, you know?
You could, yeah, if you could time travel, you could just, well, I guess you can't really take all the gambling apps with you. Imagine if you could time travel and take all the
You got to get into some dicey, shady characters if you want to gamble.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Which
You-
this is how it should be done, I think. You know?
Yeah. No,
Yeah, it's
gam-
too easy to gamble. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah,
how easy
It's
it
like
is.
not. It's not as fun. It's,
I like the risk
gambling
of
and
having my
prescriptions.
kneecaps broken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. I want to be taken into a back room and threatened. My life being threatened.
Yeah.
Like what you see in Hollywood. Like that's the fun part. Now gambling's boring.
Yeah,
you
just
just do
get
it
on
on
your
your
app.
phone.
Right.
Everybody's addicted to it. It's like that's not fun. No one's
Yeah.
in actual danger.
When everyone's addicted
That's
to it, no
boring.
one's addicted to it.
Right,
All right. So what we want to talk about today is some cringy LinkedIn posts. All right. Look, I think you guys both, I let the cat out of the bag, but like, I think if you ask most people, what do you think the most unhinged social media network is?
X for sure.
X.
X, yeah.
X.
X is up there.
I don't know, dude. I think LinkedIn gives them a run for their money.
You think?
Just because this is how I describe LinkedIn. It's like somebody told all these business people, like, hey, the way that you make viral content is you do an attention grabbing hook, like
Yeah.
an attention grabbing headline. And they're like, okay. And they just have no subtlety. Like they have no idea how not to just make it ridiculous. So I'm gonna hit you with one. I think this one is kind of mild, honestly.
Okay.
Let's
right?
hear it.
I proposed to my girlfriend this weekend. Here's what it taught me about B2B sales.
No.
What did
Damn.
it teach him? What do you think?
I just want to know what the now fiance's reaction.
Yeah, or like what was his?
Let's
what
just be
was
clear.
his-
She's probably not on LinkedIn. She's
Yeah.
got better stuff to do.
What was his real intention, right? Like from that, I'm like, this guy just wanted everybody he works with or everybody he has worked with,
Yeah.
maybe some crush he had that was added on LinkedIn to know that he's now engaged.
That he's now
Is
engaged.
there a picture too of the
I was gonna
engagement?
ask-
Of course there's a picture
Okay,
of the
so see-
engagement.
Okay, so
yeah.
there
If
we
they were,
go.
see, yeah, they're in
Yeah.
a white. She's in a white dress. He's in a white
She
shirt.
also seems a little
It's
out
on
of
the
his league.
beach.
You know what I mean?
Right.
On,
For good for him.
In a
honestly.
way, on
he
a
just
beach.
wanted to show people, like, yo, I got engaged, and
yeah.
Kelly, when you rejected me when you were my account manager 14 years ago, look at me now.
And
Look at me now, Kelly.
You, Kelly.
That's what that post is for.
You suck.
And so, what were his? Let's
Yeah. Are
hear
you
some of his-
curious what he learned about?
I'm a
B2B
little
sales?
curious.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure we don't have to go through the entire list.
I don't think he does. He doesn't
Something
do good.
about long-term relationship, bumps in the ride.
Right. Sure.
Is that in there?
I It probably is.
Adversity.
He doesn't do a good job of like tying it in. So his first one is prospecting.
You got to make the first move.
Yeah. Prospecting. You got to
They
prospect.
always get their cell phone number.
Yeah.
diminishing your partner to just like a number in a kind of a game that you're playing.
Right.
If you want to get married, you got to hit a
It's like an
prospecting.
NFL
Build your
Yeah.
CRM. You need to have a CRM.
Yeah.
Like
Salesforce.
a dating
Use
CRM.
Salesforce.
Yeah, dude.
Is there a dating CRM? That seems like a hole in the market. We could probably, that could be a business.
There's
Oh,
got.
There's
there's definitely.
I think it's just called,
I've seen versions of.
I think it's just called
Google
your contacts
Sheets.
app, right?
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. You've seen Google
I've
Sheets.
seen a Google sheet before.
of
oh
prospect.
yeah, no, I've seen people do
Yeah.
that. People like track, their dates and how their dates went on like Excel
What?
spreadsheets.
Are
and
these
stuff.
finance bros mostly?
I believe so. I remember
Yeah,
I saw
in that realm.
I saw like a TikTok or something about one. I've heard some
Consultant
people do
type
this.
people, you know?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. That seems like the
crazy
kind.
people.
Yeah,
mean,
I do
Right.
think
just
though
start
it's
there.
smart to write notes down as you go on a date, right?
Really?
Likes mint ice cream, just so you remember.
Oh, okay.
In the
You're like,
future, you
that's
can
like a
pull that
thoughtful
out.
thing.
Right.
Like, it's not like kind of has a weird
Right.
laugh, or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Just remember you don't like that about her.
Yeah.
Only drinks tap water.
Yeah.
Which I think this
Don't kiss her until she's brushed her teeth. Disgusting tap water mouth.
which is definitely what I mean. This guy has to have one of those, I would imagine.
Yeah, he seems like a spreadsheet. He's the founder of, I guess, do we dox him? Do we not dox? No, it's not
No,
dox
no,
him.
don't dox him.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah,
All right.
no.
So, I mean, it's his name, his first and last name that he wrote it from, but prospecting. So not every prospect or partner will be the right fit. Identifying the right fit takes time. You can't be afraid to say no and find the person you know will value your offer most. Here's the thing though. In dating, that was a completely true statement. But when you're prospecting for customers, that's not true at all. You're like, do you want to buy from me?
Yeah, you're not going to be like.
Yeah.
I mean, in dating, assume he went on. Let's say he went on 100 dates and he married one. That's a 1% success rate.
Yeah.
How can you compare that to a success rate of prospecting? That means 99% of the time you don't know what the fuck you're going after. You're just going after the wrong person.
The other thing is, as far as
you need to figure some other shit out.
Yeah, that's not working.
If you have that kind of success rate.
Yeah.
exactly, like the point of sales is to close the most sales.
Right.
So why are you comparing this
Yeah.
to something where you end up with one person?
Yeah.
It's almost like
Salesforce isn't out there like, hey, look, this isn't working out.
Yeah,
I think
I
we
know.
just want different things.
You know what?
no.
We see you paying us. We're gonna change that. We're just gonna give you $1,000 a month. We feel so bad for you.
Yeah. And I think
Hope this covers groceries.
No, I know. I think. Wait, but by the way, what's his company again? What does he do?
It's called Superseller, the company is.
Well, you doxed them.
Oh,
I did, but
well,
do you know
I guess
what?
I didn't mean. I guess I meant to ask what he
do
does.
you know what? I bet he's okay with it.
what they do?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
bet all his
Yeah.
coworkers look at his LinkedIn and think,
I
we
wish
don't
my-
need to post on
You know what?
LinkedIn.
If he's
yeah, he's got it.
he's probably happy.
He's like
Okay,
the
I will
Salesforce-
give
He's like the
him-
Salesforce tweet guy.
I will give him credit because I think he probably uses a ghostwriter. There's no way that somebody can write this on their own in a sober state of mind
think?
at their desk during the day with the lights on and think this is a banger.
like this one hits.
You know what I mean? Like
No, people are gonna love this,
this one is.
this is probably
People-
a ghostwriter, follows the guy on Instagram, saw he got engaged and was like,
He's like,
I got an
got
idea.
it. Yeah.
I already got the photo.
He's like, I got
gonna
this
write this
bullet
up.
loaded,
Right.
bro.
It's sad
Yeah.
because he was probably planning this well in advance.
right.
And he'd probably been talking to the photographer here. He's like, this is going on LinkedIn, so just make sure you get
Yeah.
all the good angles.
Right. Yeah. Let's see if there's other good points here. Discovery.
What are the comments
Discovery.
like?
What's that?
What are the comments like?
Dude, the comments probably make me
The dis-
sick.
yeah.
They're probably like,
Did
oh,
this go
you're so
viral,
right. This is
viral?
amazing.
Viral. So this has
okay.
4,377 comments.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
okay. I don't feel bad about this.
Yeah. No. Everybody already knows about
Yeah,
this guy.
everybody's seen this.
Yeah.
This guy.
Okay. He has a point on handling objections here. I'm very curious about this. Even after
That's-
pricing
that
and
sounds like a
negotiations.
terrible thing to say when you're writing about dating in 2024
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the internet.
You got to handle
As a
objections.
dude.
You got to handle objections.
Yeah, that is the worst thing you could say. That's insane.
She says, "I don't want to date you." You can't just take that for an answer.
No, man. You
Yeah.
gotta
If she
keep-
says, "I don't feel safe around you,"
yeah. No, you gotta. He's like, I don't feel safe around here. He's like, well, let's let's talk about
let's
that.
put a pin in
for a
that.
second.
Circle back.
We're gonna circle back. Let's parking lot.
Here's a different way to look at that.
The safety.
Yeah, and
not go into the parking lot. The safety, but parking lot. Put it in the parking lot.
Right, we'll put it in the park. I don't know. I think both actually work. You could.
This is a great reminder for all the women listening to buy pepper spray.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
You have a pepper spray brand you want to plug, or
Amazon, whatever's on Amazon.
Amazon, whatever's
it's so cheap.
Put pepper spray into Amazon.
Pepper spray.
Yeah.
You can't order it to New York.
You don't have a D2C. You can't order pepper spray to New York?
No, it's illegal. So you have to order
it's
it.
illegal in the city?
I did hear
it's
that.
Illegal
actually.
to purchase.
Yeah. You can't purchase
but like if it's in your purse and you're defending yourself.
So you can, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So they
some people would say you can legally buy drugs in New York,
but
not pepper spray.
No, it's insane.
Just saying,
right?
Some people would say
some
that.
people. You would never say that.
I would never say that.
Not you.
But some people might say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not on the Entrepreneur Comedy Podcast.
Right.
You would never say that.
No, I'd never say a thing. Even after pricing and negotiations, there may be some resistance. Use this time to assure that the other party that they're making the right decision and will love your product long term. What is the product here? Is he the product?
Is he the product? Or
After pricing and negotiations, what kind of his relationship must be wild.
It sounds very transactional.
This is the type of dude to be like, I can't wait, boys. I can't wait for the day I get to negotiate my prenup.
Yeah.
With his hands like this in the triangle,
like this
triangle.
He's like my company that's worth negative $500 million, putting it in the prenup.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
Right.
Yeah. Somebody commented LinkedIn final boss. This guy, the LinkedIn.
That's great. I think I agree. You definitely, yeah. I mean, I'm curious to see some of the rest of the ones we see, if any, top this one.
Yeah, this was pretty good.
But this is a pretty good. This is a pretty strong start.
Good start. Thanks. I felt like it was mild, kind of. Honestly. Well, then there's some crazier
I can't
stuff
wait to
out
see
here.
what we're.
Yeah, let's see what else we got here. So, we've got that one's parody. Let's hit a parody one. You guys want to hit a parody one?
Parody? Sure. Yeah, we can check it out.
All right. This one says, stories on LinkedIn be like, yesterday we had a Zoom meeting and Sanjay was reluctant to turn on his cam. I insisted that he did, and we saw that he was presenting from a bed in the ICU where his mother lay dying.
Wait, is that the end of the post?
No.
Oh, okay,
of course
keep going.
He apologized profusely for the inconvenience. I said, don't apologize for being human, Sanjay, and I didn't fire him. I just cut his salary. Show compassion to your employees.
It's crazy how
I was like, if that would have not been I could have said that one and you guys would have been like,
it's very believable.
Sounds right. It sounds like
it's very sad how close it was in tone to some of the other ones that I've seen.
Yeah.
We just paid a company to come to our office and set up our conference room with a camera and all that stuff. And the guy didn't respond for 6 days after we sent the payment. And so my assistant was like, hey, just following up here. Did you get the payment? Are we good to go? Are you guys coming? He's like, sorry about that. I've been at the hospital for the last 4 days. Had to get emergency surgery and I'm recovering nicely. On the note of the timing, I would say that we just completely
did it.
Included it in the email right below the. I just had emergency surgery and I'm recovering nicely.
Yeah, I could still die, right. But it's less and less chance every day.
Yeah, we were like, bro, just chill.
Dude, take a week. Don't worry about the timing. Yeah,
don't worry. This conference system can wait.
Yeah. All right, a real one. 1 million a year is only $83,333 a month. $83,333 a month is only $19,230 a week. $19,230 a week is only $2,739 a day. You can do it. Go make it happen. Well, when you break it down like that,
if that doesn't
how many
make
a minute? Why didn't we get the second?
Want to run through a wall?
What's the hourly rate for a 9 to 5 in
at 2,739?
So just that divided by 8.
Yeah, all right. 2,739 divided by 8. It's going to be over 300 an hour, right? $342 an hour.
Okay, so all right, so divided by 4.
Now that you said that, it does sound kind of doable.
$680 an hour.
Yeah.
You just have to be so good at something that for 4 hours a day, somebody will pay you $700 an hour.
Yeah.
That's what I love the most.
And then you make $1 million a year.
That's what I love most about this
That's
post.
now that you've said it like that, you should put that on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Right?
It'll go viral.
Imagine tomorrow's banger.
Tomorrow's banger from Sharma. Follow his LinkedIn.
Well, that's what I love the most about this is there's no solution. There's no actual advice.
Not
it's
how
just
you do
like,
it, yeah.
hey, here's some math for you.
Yeah.
Go figure it the fuck out.
No.
Or else
That's
you're a
how math works.
pussy is kind of what he just said to everyone.
That's the implied, yeah.
And it's, and like I said earlier, if it doesn't make you want to run through a brick wall, I don't know what does. You probably need some counseling.
Here's how math works.
Yeah.
This is fun.
It's like, oh, good. If you know how to use a calculator, how can you actually help with my career?
Yeah. So that can we get back to that $2,700 a day?
Yeah.
How do people do that? What do people get paid $700 an hour for?
Consulting calls. Like if you're doing consulting calls for PE,
That's true.
Yeah.
banks, venture capital.
Technically, my rate is like $500 an hour, but that goes to Triple Well, not me.
Right.
So I don't make that million a year.
If you wanted to, you could at least make $500 an hour.
Yeah,
And-
kind of.
and
But
you
I
can
would.
make
They
it
have the
happen.
pipeline. They have
if
the
you
pipeline,
did-
though. I don't have the.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah.
No, totally.
Hey, man, you can make it happen.
Yeah, that's
Just
true.
want you to-
It
just
says
want
right
you to
here.
know,
Yeah.
you know,
I
you
could
say
go
you don't
make
have
it
the
happen.
Pipeline.
Go make it happen.
That doesn't sound like very.
Yeah.
gotta
You
believe
tell
in
me
yourself.
why you can't do it, and I'll give you a LinkedIn post as to why you can.
Pipeline is no excuse.
Every time you doubt yourself.
Here's what I learned from getting proposed to my wife.
Yeah.
every time
About
you
pipeline.
Yeah.
every time you doubt your abilities, take a scroll on LinkedIn for 20 seconds.
Yeah.
You'll have
Yeah.
some,
I'll feel way better
you'll
about
feel
it.
a lot. Yeah, you'll
Yeah.
feel motivated after that.
Nice. Okay. I appreciate it. All right. Next one. We got oh man. A depressed employee is a good employee. That's the opening line.
Wow.
It's going to sit really well with the 2024
It's
crowd.
gonna be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
The mistake startup founders make is that they hire employees similar to themselves. Ambition, proactiveness, reputation are toxic traits for an early stage startup. What? To break even on the efforts and now I'm like, I don't even know where you're going with this, dude. To break even on the efforts and cost of hiring a new employee, the employee must commit to the company for a year, something that ambitious people find impossible, especially in early stage startups. You would rather have an employee produce 40% of the output but stay for a year than have someone produce 100% of the output but leave within a few months. A depressed employee is dependent on you. They're just so despondent. They're like, I'm just glad to be here, man.
It sounds like it's written by a guy who clearly has a churn problem and is just trying to justify it in his own head.
I keep hiring good
He
people.
said the second
That's my
part
problem.
was ambition is a bad trait for a startup.
Yeah. Yep. Because that's toxic.
How many times
He didn't
does
say
this
bad.
guy-
He said toxic.
How many times does this guy
he
have
threw the T word out
CEO and
there.
founder? How many jobs does he have as CEO and founder? And
Right,
it's
like in his LinkedIn
check out
in
his
the
track
lineup.
record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a founder of.
founder of 17
now it just says
person companies.
Now it just says I have created blockchain products adopted by millions. So that's what kind of guy he is.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
No real stats for us.
Yeah, millions.
Love that.
Blockchain products.
Just blockchain product. Again, the more vague you are, the better.
Right.
Yeah.
The more powerful you sound.
Less is more.
Yeah. A depressed employee is dependent on you. They're so heavily addicted to the drug that is their salary.
What?
It's like these people.
This
it's
guy
like,
knows
listen,
nothing
you need
about
to,
office
You need
culture.
to prey on people who have nothing to live for.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
This guy sounds like he should be in the casino.
How is this not a
You don't
dating
want-
post?
Right.
You don't want people who are doing really well. You want people who are contemplating, jumping off the Brooklyn Bridge. That's who you want in your office every day. Because you know that they'll do anything
They will
to
jump
keep
no
going.
matter
Just
how
to keep
high.
hooked to that.
just to keep going. And it's what did he say?
They're like
what did he
meth
say
addicts for their salary.
it was the salary, so it's just driven by
the
money.
drug. He said the drug that is their salary.
He's like, listen, people are on the verge of killing themselves. Money is the answer for them, just so you know. That's their toxic life at home, their recent divorce. He was like, that's actually not
None of those matter.
none of that. He's like, just wave $100 bill in their face
Yeah.
and tell them to come into the office.
That'll give them just enough to keep going for a few minutes. Yeah. Startup founders who focus on hiring entrepreneurial candidates are taking a massive bet where the odds are against them. Yeah. Okay. I don't know, man. The drug of the salary.
The drug and the salary thing, I think, is what hits the most with this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for him.
So I'll give this one Of the ones, I think this is the most unhinged one we've had yet.
Yeah.
This is an
most-
8 or 9 out of 10.
It's pretty crazy.
The first one is maybe like a 6.
And
7.
listen, like, we used to have at Salesforce, we used to have wellness days. Do they still have those?
Yeah.
mental health
That's one of those.
days.
Yeah. Do you guys have
We
wellness
used to
days?
get those.
You're the only one who runs a company with like a meaningful number of people. I guess there's a lot of people at Triple Well, but I don't run that company. So.
Yeah.
How many?
Yeah,
how
we
many-
don't do wellness days.
You guys have the office, or are y'all remote?
Yeah, no, we have an office in New York, but most people are remote. We've got like probably 15 people in the office here.
But you don't do like you don't do like the let me make sure that my employees' mental health is taken care of thing. So you buy into this
'cause
philosophy.
I don't have a company culture where it's like try to kill yourself to get the job done.
He doesn't have to because his,
He doesn't hire
My
depressed
employees,
people.
Right.
yeah, they're generally happy people. So.
yeah, his employees are like, hey man, we're fine. Like we actually don't need this extra time off. Like thank you.
Yeah.
Like we're
Yo,
doing okay.
real
got
talk,
some work to
I've,
do.
I've tried, and they'll be like, actually, we would rather just get this work done. Like this work has to get done.
Yeah. Do you think
We just implemented a new PTO policy that I had nothing to do with. It was entirely written by the team.
And what is it?
It's like some 18-day policy.
Okay, so we've got I think 6 weeks a year, and I think there's a rollover of 2 weeks, and I'm like, it feels like too much.
6 weeks a year?
Think about taking 6 or even 8 if you got the rollover continuous weeks. If I could take
That's
8
more than
weeks,
10% of the year.
I would be like, there's
you
no
add
way
the-
I'm necessary. You guys don't
Yeah.
need me. Yeah.
Well, what's the deal like now? Have you either of you been in a situation with unlimited PTO?
Yeah.
They say that it's worse, right? That's what I hear.
Right. I'm
Yeah.
just curious to see like how that actually works.
Yeah,
Well,
you know,
the
Do
real
people use
the real
it? Do they
thing
allow you to abuse it.
the real thing that screws the employees over is unlimited PTO, because if they ever leave, they don't get paid out for unused PTO.
Mhm.
If you have unlimited PTO, you're not obligated to pay $1. But if somebody
yeah.
has 6 weeks and they leave, then they have to get paid out for those
The
6
6
weeks.
weeks.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's a good point. I never
Yeah.
thought about it that way.
Interesting.
So,
So
unlimited
even if they
PTOs
quit, like it's not just if they're let go.
If they quit, I don't think they get. Actually, I don't know. I
They
don't know. I
forfeit
could
their
be wrong.
PTO. I don't know that either.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Definitely if you're like laid off or fired.
Yeah, that's kind of your it's your runway that they
Yeah.
have to give you.
Now, I was also going to ask too. I remember when I did work at Salesforce, there was rumors swirling for a little while that we were going to move to a 4-day work week. It
That's
never
one of the
happened.
things.
Do you remember that there was an era of Twitter? It was the guy who started Bolt.
Yep.
He was talking about the 4-day work week.
And then he went back. He walked it back a few years later. He's like, by the way, guys,
'cause the
horrible
company-
idea. Don't do it.
the company completely nosedived, I think.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I thought was so interesting. Like, I was part of this like post grad like program, and I feel like, a lot of big corporations are doing this now. It's summer camp is what it is. They took us like ziplining one day. We're like ziplining in a cavern. I'm like, guys, the company's in debt. Like this is, we should probably go back to
Salesforce
work.
has been under fire lately.
And then like,
yeah.
a year later, they had like massive layoffs. Like, I don't know why
why
don't
were we
know
doing
why
that
we're struggling so
ziplining
much.
thing? Yeah.
They're like, I can't put my finger on why the company's going under. Maybe it's because your new hires are playing arcade games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 p.m. on a Wednesday.
In our era, it was they would put every company would put like games. It was like there was always ping pong.
Yes.
yeah,
there was
we
always
had that
arcade.
too.
And
in the office.
then yeah, there was like sleeping places, like nap
Yeah,
pods
we
and things
had
like
one
that.
of
That was a
those.
big
Yes,
deal when,
actually.
in our
Pods.
era
First
as
startup
well.
I worked at, we had a nap pod.
Yeah.
in
we
the
had
office.
those too. They're like,
Yeah.
hey, and if you're just feeling burnt out, just go take a nap.
Just take a
Yeah,
quick.
I was
this
like,
is not
what are you
what
talking
corporate
about?
America
People can
used to
actually
be.
do that. Like also
Yeah.
in the office,
People used
people
to
can
make
just walk
things.
in and pass out. How does one? You can see people walk. You can see the shoes just walking right by. Like, how do you just?
like you can't get in a nap pod with your
We used to be a
Who's
proper
that one?
country. I mean, people lost their arms in the spinning jenny.
Yeah, you know
a
what I'm saying?
10-year-old lost
People
his
used to
arm
make things here.
in the
Right.
steam engine, and now we're taking naps at work. It's insane.
I was reading something about work-life balance, and it was like the work-life balance conversation first came up for like factory workers who are working like 15 hours and losing limbs and lives.
Yeah,
and they're
yeah.
like, hey, how about just some like generally kind of somewhat safe conditions?
Yeah.
And I would like to not work for 3 days straight. Like that's it. Like just a little work-life balance, right? Like I would like to have a life when I leave work. Literally, I just don't want to die here, right? That was
Yeah.
and now we're like, yeah, your mental health. Oh, you're feeling burnt out? Like you better take a day. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
now it's like, out of the 5 days of the week, well, Yeah, I guess it is kind of tough to commute 15 minutes to the office. You know
Yeah.
what? 3 days in the 2 days you guys can work. You can work wherever you want.
Yeah, that's like a bunch of people.
Does anybody still go in the office every
How old are you? Are you Gen Z?
28, just turned 28.
So you're just like barely, you're on the cusp.
Right on the cusp.
Yeah. A bunch of like Gen Z surveys say they won't like take jobs if it's fully in office. A bunch of them, like 70% of them or something like that.
Well, again,
crazy.
like, this was my first job, and that's kind of like all that I knew. Again, I did internships and stuff in college where you went in every single day, but yeah, all my entire time at Salesforce, besides the first 2 months, was remote.
Yeah,
and everybody who I know who still works at that company or kind of in that space is the same way. They're like, yeah, I don't know, we have to go in like once a week, maybe twice. Like,
yeah,
it's they're hanging out.
Okay. A man tried to kidnap my neighbor's kids. This is what it taught me about business.
No.
Dude.
Wait, a man tried to kidnap my neighbor's kids. He's just inserting himself. He's not a part of this.
Dude,
He's not even a part of it.
No, dude, kidnapping in business. Like I cannot wait to hear the jump that's made to how he bridges the gap here. Let's hear the eloquent words from this fine gentleman.
Most of your success is out of your control. I learned this from a predator in my neighborhood.
That's a real sentence.
Those are both real sentences. I'm reading you the post right now. My neighborhood is quiet and remote. It's all families with multiple children, parents in their 30s and early 40s.
It's a great target area.
One day our neighbor sounds like Ohio, this guy probably lives in Ohio. One day our neighborhood group chat lit up with a warning. It was every worst parent's fear. Someone tried to grab my kids. He offered them money to get in his car. Luckily, I was outside. That was in quotes, by the way. That was the group chat message. It came from the people who live in the house right behind mine. This happened 200 yards away from my backyard where my kids play every day.
Hold on.
This is this guy's post.
He said it's right behind my house, but it's 2 football fields away.
Dude, these are country. You've been in New York too long. That's right behind your house in the country.
But even in the suburbs of San Diego.
Right.
2 football fields. That's a long way.
Yeah,
it's a long way.
Yes, kind
What
of.
is that? Like 1,760 yards is a mile.
Do you feel like that's a long way for like a neighbor's kid to have almost been kidnapped though? You know what I mean? Like you're like, fair. I don't know. That happens like that probably happened outside 5 times since we've been in here.
Right.
Yeah. But like, I think in like the suburbs, it's like, oh, that happened.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Right
no, 200 yards is pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll get on board with him.
Yeah. The car's been spotted a few more times in the neighborhood. It speeds away every time an adult approaches. This experience taught me something important about business and career success.
Buy a gun.
Make sure you tell your kids
traps.
Tell your kids about predators.
Home Aloneify your neighborhood.
Dude.
There's booby traps.
Yeah, everywhere.
Your neighbors are getting flat tires. Like, damn it, dude. Yeah. Freaking LinkedIn guy.
It's like, hey man, I'm just protecting my children's lives.
Sorry, I'm just creating content.
This
is yeah.
It's for the content.
Sorry guys, I'm a creator now. I hate that word.
Going on LinkedIn later. So our neighborhood, here's what it taught him about business. Our neighborhood has constant salesmen. They're 18-year-old kids who go door to door, and they mostly get told no. But the week after that happened, every house in the neighborhood installed a home security system and outside cameras. The kid who came that week got a year's worth of commission in 1 week.
Okay, so it's the alarm system guy who set this whole thing up.
I was going to say,
that's what I'm... the lesson
this is a plan.
The lesson is experiential marketing works. Yeah. This is called experiential marketing. This works.
Experience. This is how you demand generate.
Yeah.
This is how you generate demand.
When you can't knock on a door, you build your door and then you knock. That should have been the
It's only $2,700 a day. Ready, go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should have been like, yeah, then I went to Craigslist and I found a creepy looking guy who would do anything for $10.
Yeah. I told him you might get a kid, and he's like, bonus.
Right.
Yeah.
And by the way, remember, going back to that first LinkedIn post about, make it happen.
Yeah.
Money. This guy saw that.
This
But
guy
and he was
saw-
like, you know what? We're not selling home security system. We need to go make it happen, right?
Also,
This is gonna.
Bobby, go
this
act
keeps
like
we're
a
not
predator.
hitting our credit. Our
Go act like a
quotas.
predator. Listen, if a kid gets in there, that's fine. Just try to keep it to 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And then
Don't take too many.
don't
of
take
them.
too many. We can't make it too obvious.
Right.
And then we'll wait a little bit and we'll go around the block and,
Yeah.
we're millionaires. So
Yeah.
I think it's actually brilliant, to be
It's
honest.
brilliant.
with you.
Yeah. Experiential marketing.
yeah.
This one, it sounds harsh. It sounds bad, but I think we can learn a lot from this.
You
one.
were learning a lot from.
Yeah.
Also,
This
if
guy is the
keeps
CEO
happening-
of a home security company.
Oh,
that would've been
I was like, let's,
What were you gonna say? Sorry.
I was gonna say, if this keeps happening, like, where are the cops? Why haven't they called the cops? How have they not at least done that? Let alone
I don't
if
know
you're
if
2 football
If
fields
nothing
away.
happens,
that's-
do the cops do anything if nothing's happened?
Uh,
I don't know how I don't know how cops work.
Yeah,
well, I'm
that's a fair
surprised
point.
like nobody got this car's license plate or
right.
anything.
Or if your next door neighbor is 200 yards away, that sounds like territory where people should probably have guns. right?
Oh,
Like,
I'm
wouldn't you
sure
own a gun?
people have guns in this neighborhood.
no one peppered
I
this
mean,
guy's tail.
I'm 100%
no one-
sure most of the
No
people
one
have
just
guns in this
unloaded on this
neighborhood.
guy's car.
I mean,
I think what it says is like every time that there's an adult around, he like books out.
oh.
Yeah. I actually have insight into this post. This one
This
was
is
mine.
easy. You
Yeah.
give-
Little
you
reveal
give the
here.
kids
This
the
was
guns.
my post. Yeah. I was the one who exploited the predator in my neighborhood for LinkedIn. Yeah, and a lot of people do have guns, but we weren't ever able to like get him. We were trying. We were
Next time
trying.
you go outside to play basketball, the kid's got to take the Glock.
Yeah, just keep.
That's true.
Stay-
That is,
You know what I mean?
Man, that's
Yeah.
the unlock. Yeah, there's a business lesson in there somewhere. Probably
Totally.
put it on LinkedIn.
Right.
You'll go viral. This one. So here's the thing. I feel like I thought this one would hit super hard. It didn't. Like like you exploit your kids, and then you don't even go viral for it. Like,
No,
what is
I know.
this?
I
What the
think
hell?
people-
No. You exploit your neighbor's kids.
Yeah, that's true. They weren't my kids.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
fine.
no.
Yeah.
You got nothing to do
That's
with
true.
you.
It was
actually.
2 football fields away.
Yeah.
who even cares? Yeah.
I'm surprised this one didn't do more number. Maybe people were like, maybe they saw right through it and they just,
They're like, this was too much, dude.
yeah,
I
I don't
think-
know.
Because I thought LinkedIn was like, oh, there's no subtle touch here. You just go hard. And
What I do love about it is and I'm curious because I'm not as active on LinkedIn anymore. Are there, guidelines, like, community guidelines that can be violated with a post? Because like TikTok,
it doesn't
if
seem
you-
like it.
It doesn't seem, which is
Yeah.
so interesting because TikTok, if you show like a gun in a
Yeah.
video, it gets flagged almost immediately.
Mhm.
It sounds like LinkedIn. I mean, these, you could talk about predators.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we
I
we
feel
might
like they
just
could
see
be like,
body cam footage on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Like, I think like cop body cam footage is like while it's happening live, it just streams also to
streams
LinkedIn.
live streaming. To
So
LinkedIn.
everyone's like, dude, was there another shooting day? Like, yeah, it
I
was
don't know,
on
better
LinkedIn
check
hours
the-
ago. What are you
Yeah.
talking about? We've seen this 3 times.
Even my customer service manager was in there.
Yeah,
Customer success
customer
manager.
success manager.
Customer success manager, yeah. All right, guys. I think that's about the time we have. I don't know. What do you think? What was the worst one? What was the most egregious? Was it mine? Do I,
I
at
think-
least win that?
Yeah, I think yours was the worst.
Yeah, mine was for
exploiting
sure
your
the
neighbor's
cringiest.
kids.
Yeah.
Exploiting
Yeah.
my neighbor's kids.
It-
Not even
it-
my own kids.
It's cringe also because there was not a lot of likes on it.
That's the
You know,
thing,
like,
dude.
if
If
that
it would have
thing
at least
had-
went viral.
Yeah.
Yeah, I talked about how we almost went homeless when or we would be homeless if I didn't lose my job. Like, so I lost my job and we're not homeless because
Got
of
it.
it.
Yep.
That one did better.
Huh.
So I don't know if I think there's a certain brand of cringe
Right.
that works,
Right.
and whatever my brand of cringe is, isn't it?
Right.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm curious. So wait, so say that one again. The homeless.
I'll read
say-
I'll read the headline. Well, here we can do
Let's
one
read the
more of mine.
headline.
If I hadn't lost my job, my family would have been homeless.
Okay, what was the job? Are you allowed to say?
Yeah. It was like an agency job. I worked at a marketing.
Okay.
I worked at
And
a
you were
marketing
going
agency.
homeless. So it sounds. I mean, to me, that's like, hey, I actually have
I have a good job.
I have a good job. It's well
It's
established.
more of a commentary
I'm
on
in-
society, actually.
I'm in, a lot of like, I'm in some gambling problems. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
in some, backroom stuff I can't really talk about.
There's some people
And
after me.
if I kept getting money regularly, they're gonna start taking family members from me. I might start losing limbs and toes.
They're garnishing my wages.
Yeah. So eventually you're just like, hey man, I don't have any money.
I don't
Like
have
I
any
just,
money, yeah.
we can't do this. And like, fuck, all right, we gotta let him.
Yeah.
Let him off.
I mean, I will TLDR that one for you. Did it open a loop enough that you're curious? I don't know. That was what it was supposed to.
Yeah, I'm still wondering how
No,
did
yeah,
this
it was-
happen?
It worked a little.
the TLDR of it is that job was like I don't know. You ever get in a job where it's like you're making enough, but you're not really making enough? You
Mhm.
probably haven't because
Yeah.
you're super successful, but have you?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's just I'm thinking even like internships and stuff.
You're like making enough, but you're like, but
You're like,
I keep dipping into my savings
Yeah,
every
right,
month.
right.
Yeah. And that's what that job was. It was like I was one of those kind of depressed people, that I was
Right.
like just hooked on
Yeah.
the drug of my salary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was my meth,
Yeah.
is what I used to say.
Yeah.
And we had a kid, so we had a second kid. We had already had a kid. We had a second kid, and that one ended up being like very expensive. And so I would have been in like very serious like medical debt problems.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got fired from the job and ended up, that's what pushed me to start the business.
Nice.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's inspirational.
It is.
Yeah.
Guys. Yeah.
Oh.
All right, let's plug some stuff. Nik Sharma, what do you got? Plug.
Let's see.
Follow him on Twitter. I mean, that's probably the main
Twitter's the
starting
main
point.
one. Yeah. Newsletter, nick.co/email.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah. If you're in e-commerce, excellent follow. If you sell physical things to people on the internet.
Or drugs.
Yeah. Well, that's physical. Most
Yeah.
drugs are. Some of
Yeah.
them are emotional. If you sell
Some
emotional
can
drugs,
be spiritual, probably.
Yeah, spiritual
Sounds like,
drugs.
the paycheck is a drug.
Yeah,
for some
yeah, that's
people,
true.
so-
If you'd like,
Like the hardest
like-
drug there is, by the way.
if you'd
Yeah.
like a paycheck drug, Sharma, you might be hiring. Yeah, who
be
knows? Yeah, Twitter, excellent follow, good top of the funnel, and the newsletter as well. Special? You got a special? No special?
Not a special. I'm doing my first stand-up tour, kind of like mini tour this fall. So yeah, I mean, you can check me out. Instagram, TikTok that's where
What's the
I
handle?
have the most. What's that?
What's the handle?
Handle
Or website?
is at Nate.Meeker on TikTok and at NateMeeker _ on Instagram. So
Bro, you got the underscore after your name?
have to. I tried to
There
get
wasn't a
there's
Nate
nothing?
Meeker was
No,
taken?
It was taken, and I tried to reach out to the account several times, and they
Is it an active account or inactive account?
it seems
Nick
to be
knows a
inactive.
guy who can get you.
I don't
If
know.
you do, that's amazing
I don't
because
know a guy,
it's
but-
inactive, and
the underscore and the dot from a branding standpoint is just terrible.
Listen, man,
You gotta change that.
I've tried.
Oh,
I
you'd
don't know
love
what
to.
you can do.
Yeah.
If you have if there are any people out there who can help me with it, because
There's
I didn't
definitely
think it was
somebody
as big of an
listening.
issue.
There's somebody
Who's got-
out there who's
Who's
like,
got a
I can get you
disruptors rep
handles.
that they
Yeah.
have a really good relationship
Yeah.
with.
Yeah.
Well, now
And
I'm
they should
realizing
DM
how big
you.
of an issue this is. Just look up Nate Meeker. There's I don't
He's
know.
pretty
Do you
big.
have a
If you
website?
look him
I'll
up,
come
you'll find him. He's
Do you have
like
a
not
website?
small.
I do. Just NateMeeker.com.
There we go.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go.
But like nobody goes on. Like nobody
Yeah,
goes.
yeah,
like,
find my website.
You know,
Yeah.
like I just
comedians,
that's why I never
honestly,
plugged it.
comedians need better websites. It is terrifying. Like one of my friends is a comedian. She's pretty successful, but like
Yeah.
even her site is terrible.
And mine's not great. Because I haven't put
Most of you
a
guys
ton
use Wix or whatever.
Yeah.
I have
Squarespace.
Squarespace. I haven't just put it enough into it because most of it is on like Linktree now. And
Yeah.
honestly, Linktree, and maybe as I grow and stuff like that, like it'll, we'll develop something more. But like, I even talked to my agent about it. He was like, I'm kind of a fan of Linktree because it's just so simple for you. Like people who follow you, like
Yeah.
it's a lot of Gen Z people. Like they just click one button and all
Yep.
the show dates are right there.
I book or I do comedians for the show. One big piece of advice I have for literally every single comedian out there is like, make it easier to email you.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Like you do, it was easy to email
mine's,
you.
yeah, mine's.
Yeah,
right
but like
there.
so many of them, I'm like, if I wanted to email you to give you money, I would not be able to.
Yeah.
Right. Like
Totally.
I'd have to like DM you. You want me to slide in your DMs, be like, yo, I got some money for you.
Right.
That's how Nick does business, right?
No.
Mostly.
I'm the one being like, can I have your
And you guys know the drill. If you're watching this, listening to this, comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell if you're on YouTube, leave a review if you're on a podcast app, do whatever the things people tell you to do on the platform you're listening on.
What do they get in
tell you to
exchange?
do. That's true. I need a better value prop.
Yeah, you need a good pitch here.
Yeah. If
They're
I
just
hit,
gonna be like, oh, skip.
yeah, I know. It's
know what I mean?
I don't know. Do an episode shirtless if I get a certain number of subscribers. I think I'll probably get unsubscribers then.
yeah,
yeah,
no, maybe don't do
yeah.
that one.
don't know.
Okay, how about this?
With-
How much
with
does
some
it fire
brainstorm.
you up when you read a good review?
A good review.
Yeah, does that get you pumped up?
It gets me pretty pumped up.
Yeah.
There you go. So
Like
you just gotta get
it turns
John
me on a
pumped
little
up.
bit, at least halfway.
Yeah, if you want to get John chubbed up, then you just gotta leave a review.
Fire
Shove me
review.
up. Give me a review.
Yeah, drop a
Uh,
comment.
Yeah, that's a great value.
That's
I
it.
think most people want that.
More kids
Also,
on
you
the
know
way
what?
for
Just
John.
comment your favorite emoji. Let's have an emoji battle.
Yeah, a little emoji battle. I
Yeah.
like it. Cool. Thank you guys for being here. This has been Dark Mode.